Today's October 16th, 2017. It's a Monday, and I'm sitting in the office, and I'm counting my Bitcoin, and John walks in. John, what's up, man? How's Bermuda?
Bermuda was fantastic. They have so many cool things going on in Bermuda. It's an island of only, 70,000 people or something?
It's still a tax haven, right?
Still a tax haven, although they play by the rules, the international rules now.
All right.
Just like Switzerland and everybody, more or less. There's a few places, of course, probably the Isle of Man, maybe Guernsey, Vanuatu. There's a few places people go to hide money.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of the places that used to be the Caymans and Luxembourg, Switzerland, Bermuda. Now they more or less, as part of the international banking system, if you're a foreigner putting money there, you got to do it through a bunch of corporations to try to get that thing through.
Well, see, I have this happy problem. I got paid for this job like years ago in Bitcoin.
Oh,
and I was looking
years ago. Nice.
And I went and looked at my account, and I'm officially a Bitcoin millionaire.
So you joined the ranks of Bitcoin millionaires?
Yeah, I know. I need to get my millennial thing going. I don't know how to handle all this now. So we're going to have to talk about tax haven. Well, I guess it's sort of a tax haven being in Bitcoin to begin with, right?
Good news is, too, if you've held it for 12 months or longer, which it sounds like you have.
Sure.
Maybe you're subject to long-term capital gains on it.
I just like
20% versus 39.6.
Just think of all the. Just think if I go down to Excess in Vegas, like where we were, and win. I could get a $5,000 table for the chain smokers, and buy some vodka and just tell everybody, "What do you do?" I'm like, like real loud. I'm a Bitcoin millionaire.
Jeez.
What's Bitcoin? You're perfect. Do you want to start on my new movie?
You're the guy who's going to buy it from me.
Do you want to? I'm a movie producer. I'm friends with Harvey Weinstein.
Oh! Yeah, did you see Al Michaels got in trouble about that last night?
Nah, the sports guy?
Yeah, the sports guy. He said...
what possibly did he do?
I think he said the Giants had a worse week last week than Harvey Weinstein.
Nah, and he got in trouble?
Yeah, got in trouble for it. I guess because he's comparing the football team to not convicted, but a suspected rapist and
I got a better one.
Molester.
I got a better one that I tweeted out, but I won't get in trouble for it because nobody reads my tweets. I said that cities, Amazon is like Harvey Weinstein. Amazon, the company, AMZN, is like Harvey Weinstein with these cities. Because every city's vying to get a role in this new Amazon second headquarters.
Yep.
And they're willing to get on the casting couch with Amazon.
With Jeff Bezos.
And say, Jeff's going to be like, hey, you want to roll in my new second headquarters? This is how it's going to work. We're not paying taxes.
There will be a lot offered to him. There is no doubt.
Is it going to be like the Olympics? I mean, if the city gets it, it's not going to net.
It should be much better than the Olympics, really. I mean,
technically, yes, of course.
Potentially, the Olympics, of course, are only a good thing if the city is strong enough, growing enough, and you actually have the need for some of the facilities they're building. If, in the case of Rio, for instance, most recent Olympics, you've got a city that's falling apart that can't afford to build it, and you put a bunch of venues way outside the city.
In the jungle.
In the freaking jungle and stuff like that.
Which is like not even a parking lot now. I think birds pooping in it or something.
It's just
way up there.
Complete waste of money. Now, obviously, Paris and L.A. are getting the two next Summer Olympics, Andrew.
I know. That's wonderful. Nobody ever talks about that.
But through sort of a trading deal, one traded with the other, Paris traded support for its bid against L.A. for its. So I think L.A. gets 2024, is it?
Yeah.
And Paris gets 2020. 2020 ain't that far away, Andrew.
Wait.
Or maybe it's...
I think it's later than
Or is it 2024 and 2028?
Yeah, 2020 is Tokyo. I have a T-shirt.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I'm saving it.
Nice.
So I can lose some weight. I can't fit. They didn't have my size in Japan.
Well, you're a big guy for Japan.
Well,
You're a giant.
I'm a giant, big.
Walking down the street, you had to be a giant in Japan.
I had my share of sushi. I'm like one of them fat Americans. So what are we doing? What'd you trade? Did you trade anything? I haven't touched really much. I again wrote the airlines calls. They're coming back in line.
Here's an interesting one. RACE, RACE. A lot of you guys probably are aware of this one. Some of you don't know that.
You can trade race in America now?
That's right. You can trade race, baby. It's also known as Ferrari. But the symbol is RACE, RACE.
I always hated this company. I love the cars, but come on. How many
Look
people buy
at
Ferraris?
it year to date, though.
I know, I'm looking at the chart.
My buddy, Mario Gabelli, owns this thing. He swears that this thing's a triple. So far this year, it's up 77%. So far this year.
I didn't honestly.
January, you were buying it below 60. Now it's pressing 100.
Wow. Gun to head, if you would have told me what's race doing, Ferrari, I would have said it's probably still at the IPO price, which was probably about, 50?
I was going to say maybe even in the 30s. Well,
yeah, I was like,
let me take that chart back and see.
Because I kept telling people, I was like, I get it. Ferrari's a good company. I said, how many people are going to buy these things? It's not like the Ford or.
Yeah, I think it was.
I saw maybe 2.
40 or something, Andrew, or 35.
Wow, this thing's almost $100 a share. Race.
Yep.
Whole brad.
RACE RACE. What are they doing? They're buying calls in here. The October 115s. So these are calls that expire Friday, folks. Expire Friday. And the 115 strike, stock's at 117. Sorry, stock's not 117. I already said that. But it's worth a look. Definitely worth a look. RACE. And make sure when you take a look at it, you're looking at the one that's traded in dollars. Because what Andrew and I were quoting earlier.
Yeah, that's like the foreign price, like the Italian joint.
You want to be careful.
117.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the money a little bit.
Yeah.
But still.
I like it.
There's some action.
Somebody smart who's buying it because this is a better use of their capital, right?
Like Bitcoin.
No, not like Bitcoin, Andrew. Not at all like Bitcoin.
Right. I'm telling you, come back to Bermuda like you. I'm going to be holidaying over there.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Of course. With my Bitcoin. I'll be spending it over there. Excuse me, sir. Can I have some Grey Poupon?
Yes, we have some.
I'll pay with that with, how about a Bitcoin? A portion of one. An eighth, 100th of one of my Bitcoins for this Grey Poupon.
EWJ. Also strong activity in this one. Bullish call buying, November 59 calls. E, like everything. W, like whiskey. J, like John. This is the Japan ETF. Like Andrew said, they've got the Olympics upcoming. They're up 10 straight days, I think Japan is. By the way, this is the ETF for Japan, the MSCI ETF. But buying upside calls in this at the 59 strike in November. It's been moving up. I mean, look at this graph, Andrew. it's just like that half a percent pop, 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 pop every day for like 10 days.
Nice. Yay, Japan.
Look at that. Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, I don't trade these ETFs.
I don't really either because I look for a little more.
But it's nice to know that they're thinking in Japan. I mean, you don't have to do every one of these trades that we see on Investitute, which is where we post these trades. You don't have to do every single one, but if you can get kind of a feel, like for that, they're not shorting Japan. They're long Japan. So if you put that in your peace pipe and smoke it, maybe they're buying all the Ferraris.
Right.
In Japan.
True. They might. I mean,
I know they're buying them in China.
Interest rates are certainly cheap enough, been cheap enough for a long time in Japan.
I know. Can't wait for the Olympics.
Also, Ford was seeing some fast money flows this morning, Andrew. 18,000 end of the month, October 11 calls with the stock at 12.05. So they're buying a $1 in the money call. Again, leveraged way to stay in the game and to bet that Ford goes higher. Like that one, like AMLP. That's the last one I'll throw out. A, like Alpha. M like Mary, L like Lima, P like Papa. AMLP. January 11 calls bought stock right there, right at $11. They're buying Jan 11s.
Speaking of October, being it is the middle of October, and then we got November, obviously, we should see, and we should do a whole podcast on this because we kind of touched on GE last week being year-end selling.
Yep.
You know, there's some stocks that might be opportunities
to pick up.
Well, yeah, you know, now it's kind of a lull because it's October, but sometime in November they get the call from the broker saying, you need to dump this and we'll buy it back in January so we can get the tax loss on it because it's over 30 days.
Yeah. And you got to wait those 30 days, just like Andrew said, folks. That's the important part. If you dump this, all the people that dump it at the middle of December and so forth can't buy it till the middle of January if they wanted to buy it back. Now, some people probably just want to sell it and walk away.
Yeah,
but if you want back into one of the cheapest industrial companies.
Or if you don't have a broker and you don't do this traditional trading like we knew back in the 80s and 90s and you just put it in a fund, another person might be doing this behind the scenes and doing it with options.
Yeah.
So we might see some selling of the stock in physical form and then maybe the money manager buying options out in January. So be careful if you see activity. And these are things we explain on the site that you could create opportunities. Maybe that it's not just cut and dry as you see, but you'll see somebody doing these positions for year end because of taxes.
I agree.
I'll just leave it at that.
By the way, just to throw it out, Andrew, also, we have Apple. Remember when I was pounding the table at 149 on Apple? On the dip, because they said, oh, the 8 sucks. The pre-orders are bad. And they can't make the X or the 10. They can't even make them, blah, blah, blah. The same crap they come out with every time about Apple, the haters. Well, stock's almost 160 today. So if you were smart, lucky enough to buy it when we bought it on that dip, and I bought the actual stock, physical.
Yeah, I'm holding stock too.
And I'm just writing calls against it now. And I hope I have to keep buying the calls back at higher prices because, quite frankly, that suits me just fine.
Now, okay, so let's switch gears here. I was talking to our friend Gino over at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about the iPhone X. Did you know it's a little smaller? Than than the phone that you have.
So he's actually seen some, huh?
He hasn't seen it, but he's measured them.
Oh.
So he's like into this. I said, but you're still going to get it. It's going to have a bigger screen, but the physical size is going to be a little bit smaller than the iPhone 7. So
I'm just hoping the damn things have a better battery. Honestly, if you asked most Apple users what is their biggest issue, by far it is not going to be screen size. By far it's going to be battery. It's not going to be the better camera. It's not going to be, wireless charging. It's going to be fix the effing battery life.
Or come out with a case that has a battery, like Moofy, which that's another story.
Yeah, but again, you can't make, the Samsung holds a charge much longer. I know that because my wife had a Samsung. I've never had a Samsung. But I know that this is a problem when you've got a phone. Even with my freaking Mophie case, Andrew, I can barely get through a full day.
I know.
If I'm not plugged in.
And then people joke. They say, well, it's the new update. And that's kind of what Apple does. They get it and they screw your phone up and they make the battery die so that you get a new one. I'm like, huh? I said, is that normal? I'm like, oh, of course it's normal.
That wouldn't be
just what they
fraud
do.
And
we're just going to jack your car up. We're going to just make your car run like crap.
We're going to make, as soon as you come in for your tune-up for your GM car, we're going to make sure that we tune it in such a way that it doesn't run right and you go, God, I got to trade in this piece of crap.
Yeah, exactly. That's akin to that. But that's another story for another day.
Yep. Sort of like Klaxon if you've been following Billions.
I got to start watching it.
You got to start watching it. All right. Well, folks, thank you for tuning in. He's Andrew Coffey at Coffee Grinds on Twitter. I am John Najarian at John Najarian on Twitter. You, of course, can follow us and or you can subscribe. Why not subscribe?
Sure.
Google Play, iTunes, YouTube. You pick it every time we do a podcast, and we're about to upgrade and get some more podcasters on with us so that we can put out more content per week. But thanks for listening. Please leave a comment and have a great day.